I was in camp for 26 weeks before I finally fought. And then when I fought, I had already cut weight 3 times in 7 weeks or something like that. So it was just a really rough go.
Mike Owens with Inside Fighting. We're in lovely sunny Florida, and I'm joined by Hailey Cowan, who returns to action at UFC 314 this Saturday. Hailey, how are things and how's Miami so far?
Things are way better now that I saw that dog right there. No, things have been really good. You know, we had media this morning, got here yesterday, did some training when I got here, weight's looking good, so far so good.
Have you been to Miami before, and if so, what are your experiences been?
I have been to Miami. I had a sponsor out here a while ago. It's a 10, and we got to go on their yacht and do some fun stuff. So I have not been here to fight, but I've been here to do some other cool stuff.
100%. We obviously haven't seen you for a couple of years now. It is. I think it's 2 years. It will be next in May. How are things? It must be nice to finally have a fight booked and finally for a fight to happen, hopefully.
Oh my goodness. I have been dragged through hell and back this year. Injury after injury, it's been awful. But this is the healthiest my body has been in probably 10 years. Because, you know, I was a gymnast before this.
Yes.
So I don't have a lot of fighting mileage on my body, but I have a lot of athletic mileage. So those 2 injuries kind of forced me to sit back and actually let my body recover rather than having small injuries where you can kind of fight through. I couldn't fight through these. You know, I broke my leg in half. I tore my UCL. So it was like things that was like, Hailey, sit down. You know, and my body had been kind of warning me for a while, but when you don't listen to your body, it forces you to, and that's what happened. And honestly, in the long run, I think it's going to be better for my career.
I would imagine that gymnastics would have some benefit to fighting, but talk me through a little bit of what you feel like the key benefits are.
I love this question. So everyone assumes, they're like, okay, you know, the benefits from gymnastics: strength, yes, obviously; balance, yeah, of course; agility, body awareness, you know, understanding spatial awareness where your body is in the air. All great, but the best thing from gymnastics was the discipline. You know, going to practice every day. It's not a choice. You gotta go.
Yeah.
And most importantly, you know, when you compete, you're competing against dozens, if not 100 people at a time. And you mess up once, you lose. So you learn how to, one small mistake, you know, I flexed my foot, I wobbled on the beam, you know, one small mistake, you lose. And then you gotta come back the next weekend and compete again. So I think the best thing I learned was how to be resilient, how to lose, and then how to get back on the saddle, you know.
So a lot of people would assume it's a physical advantage, but in many ways it's more of the mental in terms of the competition.
It's physical and mental.
Yes.
You know, fighting at this point, we're all really good. You know, you get into the UFC, you're talented, but it's going to be who wins is going to be who showed up, who's healthy, and who showed up. And gymnastics taught me how to show up.
How'd you like the matchup?
I love. This is a huge blessing for me. You know, I haven't fought in 2 years. Coming off of a loss. I thought I won, but nobody asked me.
Yeah, true.
Coming off of a loss, and then they offered me number 13 on this card. Like, I feel like the UFC's doing me a favor, you know? And so it's a great matchup for me. She's a Muay Thai fighter. I feel like I'm a well-rounded fighter who kind of leans a little bit towards the wrestling and the grappling. So I feel like, you know, it's gonna be a good fight. She's good. I'm good. We're both game. I'm excited.
Given how the last fight went and given the layoff, I imagine there was a lot of surprise when you got a ranked opponent next.
There was a lot of surprise, yes. But when they offered me her name, I didn't realize she was ranked yet. And she was someone that I thought they were probably going to match me up with. You know, I had like 3 girls in my head. You know, when you're waiting, you're like, it's probably going to be one of these. And she was one of the 3 that I thought.
Yeah.
So that wasn't surprising, but then when I went and my manager was like, you know, she's number 13, right? I was like, let's go, you know, because I win this fight, I'm in the top 15, so.
Why do you think you got it? Do you think it's just a timeline thing, you're available when she's available, that one of those situations, or do you think it's a case of the UFC trying to push you up these 135-pound rankings?
I think they think I won my last fight.
Yes.
And I know the UFC believes that I did too, so I think that they're kind of looking past that loss and seeing it as a win, and I had such a, you know about my debut?
Yes.
Okay, I had an ovarian cyst rupture. I was scheduled to fight in February, ovarian cyst rupture, and then rescheduled 2 weeks later, and then my opponent pulled out the night before the fight. So like, I was in camp for 26 weeks before I finally fought, and then when I fought, I had already cut weight 3 times in 7 weeks or something like that. So it was just a really rough go. And by the time that I got to the debut, I just wanted to get it over with. Like, I wasn't excited to be there. I was just like, let's just do this, like, you know. And so I think that they understand that it's been, you know, I've had a rough hand dealt.
Yeah.
And so I feel like they're doing me a favor.
Well, we look forward to seeing you back. The bantamweight title fight has just been announced last week, Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison. How do you see that fight playing out?
Oh man, The easy answer is Kayla, I think. And I'm gonna go with Kayla, but Juliana Pena always figures it out. Anytime I've thought that she can't win, she does. She's incredible, so I'm gonna go with Kayla, but I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Last one from me, we'll turn the conversation back to yourself. Talk me through what a perfect day from morning to night looks like on Saturday.
Like on fight day?
On fight day.
Okay. Perfect day, I'll wake up, train, hit some mitts, go to sleep. I love sleeping a lot on fight day. I'll eat, get my weight back to get my weight back to, you know, where I want it. And then go and get a first round finish. That would be the perfect day.
I love it. Well, thank you for your time. We look forward to seeing you back in action, and best of luck for the next
Yes,
fight.
thank you.